Hey everyone, it's Johnny, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about the warm sniffs, my opinions on them, thoughts, and feedback for the 25 January 2022 Bring Back My Bar winners. Now, I did bring them with me. If you notice, the decorations behind me are a little bit sparse, I guess is the word. I'm in my parents' basement currently because I'm visiting them for the holiday season for a little while, and I brought all the bars with me because I'm crazy. And so I've been warming them here, and that's probably why you'll hear all sorts of strange noises. You probably will hear like the sump pump in the basement and the trickling water. We'll just pretend like it's like a Zen garden and it's a tranquil fountain in the background or something. But sounds and sights aside, we are going to dive into the 25 bars. I did warm through all of them because my parents' house is spacious enough. I was able to kind of split up the scents throughout the house and really give them a good, strong, accurate representation. So disclaimer, all of the bars, I did warm 2 cubes in each time when I was doing them. So normally I would do 1 cube at a time. My space in California is a little smaller, so it's easier to kind of get a good gauge on. Your mileage in terms of throw and performance may or may not vary because of that. I know a lot of people tend to use 1 or 2 cubes. You'll get similar results either way in terms of performance and throw. The biggest noticeable change might be longevity for most of these scents, but in terms of overall scent strength, yes, the more cubes you have, the stronger it will be, but generally that's once you go beyond the 1 or 2 cube mark. So without further ado, I should say, we're going to go alphabetically. These are the only 25 bars. These are not the 10 ones that are available in the club exclusive. Once I get my hands on those, we'll do a whole nother set of sniffing and warming and all that stuff. But that being said, let's dive right in. So first we have Ambrosia. This is the reddish wax, whatever you want to call it. I could pull up the scent notes. Basically, this is like tropical fruit and soap. If you like tropical fruit, if you like that soapy sort of like carpet cleaner sort of soapiness vibe, you will love this scent. It's a strong performer, very strong performer. It likes to scent monster itself out of the room. And I will say that the soapiness, whatever you want to call it, does end up being a little less pungent when it's warm, but it's still not my favorite. But if you're looking for like a soapy tropical kind of scent, this is definitely a great performer. Like, you do get bang for your buck on this one. Will it be club worthy for me? Definitely not. But it was a fun experience. And that's that one. Moving on, banana nut bread. This is returned before. It smells like banana nut bread. It's an artificial sort of banana. It's not like an authentic one. This is not a super sweet scent because it's nut bread. It's not nut cupcake or nut sugar plum fairy dream or something. I don't know. It is very much a bready sort of mellow, warm note. And then like the banana. The banana kind of futzes out after the first few hours, and then it's more just like that weird kind of slightly burnt sort of bread note. It's nice. It's kind of forgettable. It's a medium performer for me. I was not super impressed with the performance, at least this time around. I mean, I don't think I was super impressed with it the last time it came around. But as far as authenticity to banana nut bread, I don't know. I don't quite see it. But, you know, I know a lot of people really enjoy this scent, and this is one of the original ones, I think, that's got the whole Scentsy train going. So it for what it's worth, it's stood the test of time pretty well. All right, next we have banana berry. This reminds me of Starburst candy. Like when you open a bag of like the original Starburst, like the cherry, orange, strawberry, lemon, whatever you want to call it, that's what I get out of this. It's like a banana cream and like sweet berries or something. And I get Starburst, and I love it. I could also potentially see this for the right sort of sniffer. You might pick up a more Play-Doh sweetness rather than sweet berries, but that may just be because I'm hypersensitive and I can kind of see a couple other options for interpreting this scent. I like this scent. It does perform pretty strongly, but it doesn't have lasting strength. So this is like maybe half a day, maybe 2/3 of the day it'll make it through pretty strongly. maybe even less than that. But when it's done, it's pretty much done. It's like, can't even really discern it. So I will say in terms of longevity, it's not the greatest, but when it's there, it is pretty nice. So this to me kind of falls into the category of like pistachio ice cream, if any of you remember that one. It's a great, strong, beautiful performer, but when it's done, it's done. There's no in between. There's no like, you know, teetering out. It's like it's either there or it's not. So that's banana berry. Next we have banana Rama, which is basically bananas. I actually didn't mind the scent, and I found this surprisingly rather light. Now, I don't know if that's just because I was going and you know, putting them in different rooms, or like there was stronger scents that ended up overtaking it, but even in the room that this was in, I didn't hate it, but I found it kind of light. Probably for the better, but it does on cold smell kind of like banana runts or whatever they are. On warm, it is a little bit more authentic. I will say the warming seems to help for whatever reason. But it is a lighter scent. I was surprised. I was expecting this to be kind of obnoxious and make me want to hurl, and it was a pleasantly light scent. It didn't last all day either, so there are some longevity issues with it. I think that's generally a common case with a lot of the fruity sort of scents as a whole, because fruity notes tend to be more of a top note or a mid note rather than a bottom. So if the scent is all like fruit based, it's probably going to have less staying power than something that has like a woody note or a vanilla bottom note or something. So that's that one. Would I put it in my club? Nah. I'd probably put banana berry in my club for a little while though. All right, next we have blue raspberry ice. This is basically like that little rocket colored popsicle that you get from the ice cream man or at the, you know, convenience store down the street, you know, in the summer, red, white, and blue. And it smells just like that. You do get the lemony note, you do get like the cherry, raspberry, whatever combo. It's nice, it's refreshing. Is it something that I need in my club? Probably not, but if you like that sort of fruity, lemony, reminiscent of childhood sort of fragrance, it does perform quite well. I would say probably a medium to maybe medium strong, depending on the size of the room. It does last all day, so there wasn't any problem with longevity. But for me, again, I don't know if I need my house smelling like a popsicle. Great scent, or Slurpee even maybe, but it's maybe more fun if you have children specifically. They might get a real big kick out of the scent, or if you're a big fan of like sweeter, fruity sort of scents, like airing towards a little bit of the bakery note category, you might find this more appealing than just like if someone who's a straight up fruit connoisseur, if you will. But it's a good scent. Next, Blueberry Rush. All right, so this came back not too long ago, and it's great. It's a strong performer. It's blueberries. I want to say there's like pomegranates and like plum and some other dark berry, cranberry maybe. It's kind of a tart berry. It's not super sweet. So if you are someone who loves sweet berries only, this might be just okay for you. But if you like something that has a little bit of a punch but isn't super tart, this is like that nice balance between sweet and tart. It is a great performer. It's strong. It lasts a long time. And I might actually put this into my club. I didn't have it in there for a while. I didn't really miss it per se, but it is a great performer. So may go in there for a couple rounds. All right, next we have boho. Boho chic, boho casual, boho, I don't know. Boho ho ho, Merry Christmas. This is a lovely scent. It's very sort of perfumey, aromatic, slightly floral, slightly fruity, slightly undertones of woods and spice to me. The closest thing that this reminds me of on cold is Bath & Body Works Winter Candy Apple, where you have that winter apple, you have like another couple little fruity layers of notes, you have a little bit of that cinnamony spice sort of thing. I don't know if there's cinnamon specifically in this, but there's some sort of spice. It is more on the floral note though, so don't forget there is that component to it. And it's a pretty strong performer. It's a unique scent, I will say, compared to some of our other more standard scents. This is a little bit different. So it might be worth trying at least. Is it club worthy? I'm probably gonna put it in there at least for 1 round or so and then probably pull it out. I like it, I don't necessarily love it, so we'll see, but better safe than sorry. So that's boho, and it did perform all day, no problem. Next we have bubblegum, and I did not worm this. I couldn't bring myself to do it, I'm sorry. It's bubblegum. It's literally classic baseball card kind of like bubblegum. Like not quite Hubba Bubba maybe, I don't know. But it's that bubblegum with like that hint of mintiness that I don't want to smell a whole room of bubblegum. But I'm not a very big like sweets person. Like I love mint scents, I don't like bubblegum mint. But it is a strong performer. From what I remember, it does last quite well. And it does perform quite well. So if you are like bubblegum is life, definitely consider picking up at least a bar of this to try. If you're not a fan of like the classic pink or similar pink-ish bubblegums, steer clear of this because it is very much bubblegum. Next, casting spells. Ooh. All right, casting spells is like this apple, maybe like a caramel apple drizzle. It's like a green caramel apple, if that. Then you have roasted pears, another layer of green, which you really pick up on. And then you get cinnamon bark, which gives like a little bit of an earthiness to this, but doesn't really necessarily scream cinnamon. Like not once during this warming did I go, wow, it's really cinnamony. I mostly got the roasted pear. I did get a little bit of the apple and a little bit of a caramel sort of note to this. This is very much a fall autumnal scent. It's like a Halloween scent extraordinaire when you want like the caramel apples, the candy apples, all that sort of stuff. It has a little bit of that earthiness and mystery to it, if you will, for October in particular. But is it something that I need in my club? Probably not. It performed nicely. I like pear scents. I like apple scents. It didn't really hit any of the boxes that normally I look for in a pear or an apple scent. It just kind of was. And it was bad, it was just, it was. So very neutral thoughts on this one. It did perform fairly well though. Lasted all day. You could definitely smell it. There was no like trying to, you know, put your nose into the wax to try to smell it. It was there. Just not a favorite of mine. All right, next we have cherry almond pie. This is apparently like Orville's favorite, I want to say, from this description. This is a whole lot of cherry. This is literally like you open cherry pie can, like a canned cherry pie filling, and just stuck your nose in it. That's what I get out of it. It's very sweet, almost cloyingly so. When it's warm, you do get a little bit more of like the pie note or the crust note, and there's a slight creaminess to it, so it's not just straight up cherry. Like, I think we had a scent called like black cherry or something that came back recently that was like straight up just cherry. Not quite that bad in terms of like, oh my god, Cherryland. But it's strong. Not a huge fan of this personally. I've also been told, or at least I haven't been told, I've heard that this smells very similar to the December Whiff Box's maraschino sugar cookie that was like a limited edition scent in there. So if you loved that one, you may want to pick this one up and give it a try, because apparently they're pretty close to one another. I can't confirm because I haven't smelled that one. I never got the Whiff Box for December. So I'm only going off of what people have said, but I assume if enough people are saying it, and even like HQ kind of alluded to it in our end of month video, that perhaps you may want to take a look at this if you're craving some maraschino sugar cookie action. It's a strong performer. I don't need it in my life, but if you do, more power to you. Next, we have Cherry Limeade. This is also returned since I've been here before, since I've been a consultant, since I've been here. Like, in this room, it's returned. This is a cherry lime soda. It's strong. It lasts forever and ever and ever, like days. Like, this is not one that just, like, lasts for the day or, like, 6 to 8 hours. This is, like, it goes on and on and on and whatever, you know. I swear I'm a singer, just not apparently this morning. You get the fizzy effervescence from this. You get the lime, you get the cherry. I think it's well balanced, but it is strong. And if you're not a fan of like the soda fizzy sort of effervescent scents, you may not like this. But it does live up to its moniker, and if you are interested in that and you like fountain beverage inspired scents, try this. Maybe mix it with vanilla, like a cube of, I don't know, Simply Vanilla from our Bring Back My Bar, or even like a vanilla bean buttercream, and make a vanilla cherry soda. I would. Man, I should maybe try that. That might be my next thing to try. It's good. I had it in my club for a little while. I took it out. I don't know if I'm going to put it back in there. Clearly it has enough popularity, it's going to come back, but anyways. Next we have Coconut Cotton. This is one of my ride or dies. I love it. It's already in my club. I actually added an extra 1 or 2 bars because I have to like review my club a bit and fix some things. I just kind of got a little crazy with it. Anyway, this is a great scent. It's really interesting because it's not distinctively laundry. It's not distinctively floral. It's not distinctively fruity. It's like this really unique, I think this one's very unique. You don't really get a heavy cotton scent. You don't get a super coconutty scent only. It's like coconut, but then there's a creaminess, and then there's a floral note, and then there's a little bit of freshness to it, and it's almost a little perfumey, romantic too. This is a, like, you could put it anywhere and it will probably fit the space just fine. Whether it's a laundry room or a kitchen or a bathroom or a living room or a bedroom, it doesn't matter. I adore this scent, and it's a strong performance. It lasts days, never had an issue with it, and it's generally, for most people, not a very offensive scent, which is another, I think, a big win, because some people, you know, are very averse to heavily spicy scents or heavily bakery scents or heavily whatever scents. This kind of like meshes the several categories in a really unique way, and I would suggest trying it personally. Like, I can't rave enough about it. It's gonna stay in my club as long as there's a club. And that's Coconut Cotton. All right, let's not talk about that one anymore. Next up is Grape Granita. I also did not worm this. This, you cannot convince me, is not a grape Jolly Rancher. It's supposed to be like sun-warmed grapes on the vine or something like that. When it's warm, it's basically a grape Jolly Rancher. And I don't really like artificial grape. This is not super artificial grape-y. Like, there is the hint of warmth or whatever, the sun warmth or whatever it is. But it's a grape Jolly Rancher. And it's strong, and it's in your face, and it's non-apologetic about it. And it lasts. It lasts. It's a great performer. Like, you get your bang for your buck with this one, but it's not a bang that I need with any amount of buck. Like, so that is not something I wormed this time around, but trust me, it's a solid performer. All right, next we are going to Huckleberry and Clementine. Now this one was a surprise for me because on cold, not a huge fan of it. It has like that citrusy note, but there's like the mulberry or the huckleberry, whatever. And it just, there's something really bizarre about the cold scent of this bar. Like, it just, something in it doesn't agree with my nose. It almost makes me have like a nauseous feeling. However, when you worm this, oh my word, was I shocked. This turns into like the sweet huckleberries. You do get like that zingy citrus, and it's like melded with like a mulberry sort of like rich berry note. Like, it's so nice, and it's strong, and it lasts all day long and then some. This is going in my club. I did not expect to like this. I thought this was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna throw this in the warmer and I'm gonna hate it, and that's gonna be the end of it. I love this. I don't know, like, if I was just like sleeping on this, or this was never in one of the catalogs at one point, or I was just kind of like, meh. But man, this is a great scent. It is really nicely balanced, and you get more of that sweetness and sort of berry quality to this, rather than the just like strange odor of the cold sniff. So this one is going in my club. All right, let's move on to Huckleberry Sage. This is another one where I'm not a big sage person. Didn't think I was gonna like it. Didn't think much of it. Thought it was gonna be a really soft performer on cold. And like smelling it, I was like, this isn't gonna do anything. And then I warmed it, and this is very much a fresh scent, in my opinion. More than like a berry scent or a woodsy scent. I'm not a huge sage person. This doesn't really smell like sage to me, to be very frank with you. This smells like a fresh, slightly berry sort of scent. and it stays throughout the day. It's almost kind of like if there was like a berry Febreze kind of, it gives me a little bit of that vibes. It's really good. I don't know if I'll keep it in my club forever, but for now it's going in my club, and it does last all day long. I will say when I first warmed it though, the initial throw, and it could have just been because I was sitting next to the melting warmer, was like, where's this scent? But then I like left the room for 5 minutes or so and came back, and it was like, oh wow, this is fresh, this is in my face. So I really like this one. I suggest you try it if you like fresher scents, not necessarily berry heavy scents, but more of the fresher sort of category ones. I think you might enjoy this one. All right, next we have Mandarin Moon. All right, here we go. Mandarin Moon. Everyone's raved about this. This is a gingery, sweet orange scent. And I think if you put like a cherry note to this, you could potentially have Rise and Sunshine. Does it perform well? Yes. Am I a raging fan of this? Not necessarily, but it is a sweeter orange scent. And that really comes out when it's warming. Like, you do get the sweet orange. It's not just orange, it's not like mellow. But you also get, I believe there's a ginger note in this, and you do pick up on that. So I'm not particularly mad about it. Actually, let me double check now that I'm not confusing this. Yep, there is ginger in this one. It's like, I know I smell it, but let's double check. Yeah, it's a nice scent. I think it's great. I think I have Rise and Sunshine still in my club though, and I prefer that one as it has a sweeter tinge to it from the cherry, I think. But this is good if you don't have Rise and Sunshine. Maybe grab this one, and maybe even grab a cherry scent. I don't know if I could recommend this with cherry almond pie, but maybe cherry limeade might work because the lime and the ginger could kind of work together. But good scent. I don't think it's particularly unique. I think it's just another sweet orange scent. And because we're coming out of the holidays and the fall winter catalog, I'm kind of over those scents, you know, the spiced orange pomander, all that sort of stuff. Like, maybe it's just a time of year thing too. All right, next we have Maui Mist. This was, I think in my initial review, it kind of reminded of me of my friend's mom's Jeep. Like the musty sort of like cover up from, you know, she opens windows and smokes a cigarette, you know, sort of thing. And it's still there. I still smell that on cold. However, on warm, this is such a transformative scent. You get a lot more of the florals. You do still get that woodsy sort of slightly musky sort of quality, but it's balanced out more when it warms. The florals really come to life. They kind of elevate the scent and freshen it up, and it's a strong performer. Like, it does work. It's a very unique scent too. I don't know if I'm 100% like, oh my god, I need to have this in my life all the time, but for now this is gonna go in my club. I may even pick up an extra bar, just, you know, to go through this. I still have some to go through, clearly. But I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this more than I expected to, so there's that. Next we have Midnight Fig. And if barring coconut cotton, I'm obsessed with this scent. This is going in my club. I want to eat this scent. I want to have this as a cologne. I want to bathe in it with a shower gel. I want everything Midnight Fig now. This is such an amazing scent. You get like berry notes, you get woodsy notes, you get the fig, but it doesn't smell like soapy or powdery or dry or bland or anything like that. Oh my goodness, I love this scent. And it's a strong performer. It lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts. And it's a good throw too. You're like, you know it's there. There's no doubt of Midnight Fig being there. I'm honestly surprised they don't bring this back just in the regular catalog. They really should. Holy smokes, this is a great scent. So this is club worthy, 100%. I'm probably putting a couple bars in. You really get that really berry, woodsy yumminess. I recommend you try it. I really do. This and Coconut Cotton are like the two top favorites of this entire one so far. So, next we have Pink Haze. This is returned before. This is basically pink cotton without the cotton. It's a sweeter variant on it. but it is nonetheless pink cotton minus cotton add sugar. Yeah, it's sweet, it's nice, it's a softer scent. It is a softer scent, keep that in mind. Somewhat girly, I guess. Mostly just sweet, fruity, sugary. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. I had it in my club for a brief stint, and then I was like, meh. If it was between this one and sugar for me, sugar wins hands down every single time. But this is it's a nice, light, sweet, fruity scent. So there's that. Salted caramel cupcake. That's what we have next. All right, so we have caramel. We have the cupcake note. And there is like a bit of like a sea salt bite to it that cuts through the richness of the caramel scent. This is a actually surprisingly nice caramel scent, and I'm not a big caramel person. So for me to say that I don't mind warming this should tell you something. It is bakery. I almost feel like you get more cupcake than you do caramel. So if you're worried about the richness or the butteriness that a caramel scent usually entails, it's pretty well balanced with the doughy, floury cupcake component to this, rather than just being straight up like rock candy. There is a bit of a buttery note to it though, so be aware of that. But I think it's a well-balanced bakery scent. I think of many of the caramel-based scents that I've smelled over the couple of years I've been with Scentsy. This one is probably one of my preferred ones if I had to go for a caramel scent. It's not maybe my all-time favorite one, but it works, and I don't mind it. But I don't know if I'm going to put it in my club. Next, we have Shimmer. This is going straight in my club. This is delightful. It's a medium to medium strong throw. It's a sort of romantic, perfumey, fruity, berry sort of scent with a little bit of musk to it. Very beautiful. I think we had it in our body care line. I don't know if we still do. We had it in our laundry line for a while too. Loved it there. And then they pulled it out of the laundry line. It was a softer, to be fair, thrower in laundry, but sometimes you don't want your clothes to be like strongly smelling of something. You just want them to smell fresh with a hint of something. Anyways, this is beautiful. I think it was not in in a bar form anymore when I first joined, so that's why it was never in my club. But it's going in my club and it's staying there because it is delightful. And I actually warmed this a second time after I finished reviewing some of the other bars because I was like, oh, I really love this. So, highly recommend. Next we have spiced, simply vanilla, not spiced vanilla. And that's what this is. So it's vanilla. There is like a coconut milk sort of vibe to this that gives a creaminess. It is not a bakery vanilla. It's more of a perfumey, true vanilla though. So a lot of our scents like think vanilla bean buttercream or ones that are vanilla something. They tend to be more of the bakery category. This is more vanilla neutral rather than vanilla I'm going to go cook with you or bake with you. And I think I appreciate this. There's a slight perfumey note to this. Not quite floral vanilla. I don't think I'd necessarily go quite that far, perhaps. But it is just like a good vanilla scent. And it does, from what I remember, at least when I warmed an old bar of this, it does tend to overpower rather than blend with other scents. So vanilla tends to be like a mixer scent or something to cut a strong scent. This will cut through it a lot of times and just like demolish the other scent that you were trying to like nullify. It'll just go in and be like, game over, dude. It's simply vanilla time. This will go in my club for a little while. I don't know if it'll stay there forever, but I do like it enough to put it in my club. Next, we have Spiced Orange Harvest. We're almost there, guys. Last three. This is just another sweet orange and spice. If you were sort of a fan of spiced orange or sweet orange? Sweet orange pomander in the bricks and you missed it or you didn't put it in your club or whatever. This is fairly similar, a little less cloves heavy, more just cinnamon spice. It's a sweet orange spice scent, and I feel like, to me at least, a lot of the sweet orange spice scents kind of all start to mesh together after a while. It's like, oh, it's sweet orange and cinnamon and cloves. Shocking. Groundbreaking even. It's nice, but unless you're a diehard spice and orange person, I don't think there's anything particularly unique about this one that makes it stand out. Like, Harvest implies, oh, maybe there might be a woodsy note or this or that. I don't really get it. It smells like a lot of the other spiced orange scents that I've smelled. All right, Sugar is next. This is lemon drops and cotton candy, and it's pretty much spot on for that. I love this scent. It's a pretty strong performer in terms of longevity. It is not necessarily a scent monster, but it does hold its own. So I would say like medium, maybe medium strong, depending on space. Like, you'll know it's in there, but it's like, it almost gives the room, since there's like the lemon note in there, a clean freshness without being like household cleaner or cleaning product or something like that. And as much as it sounds like more of a candy cloying sweet, the lemon note in this kind of cuts through the cloying part and just kind of makes it a nice, sweet, clean scent. I almost would argue that this is borderline like fresh adjacent bakery, if I had to pick. Like, I could see this being like a fresh, clean scent just as much as I could see this potentially being more in the bakery category because of the name. But it's nice. It's really nice. I actually have this in my club. It's going to stay there. I might throw another bar in, but it's there. And finally, in these 25, we get to Thunderstorm. This is so good. It's in my club. It's a floral aquatic with a hint of like a bite of spice. So what do I mean? So you get a lot of the fresh floral notes. But it's like a fresh, dewy floral rather than, so think not quite flower shop level, like cut floral stems. It's more of like you're in the backyard gardening and things are still dew covered in the morning, mist, you know, that kind of like aquatic dewiness. And then like the air is heavy with that sort of like anticipation of a thunderstorm, or just afterwards where it feels still very wet even though the precipitation has stopped. Then you have a little bit of a bite of something, a spice, a masculine sort of hint in the background that just gives a little bit of mystery, a little bit of more complexity to the fragrance, so that it's not just an aquatic floral scent. Like, you almost envision the thunderstorm about to happen or just has happened, and now you're walking through the garden that's wet and dewy and misty still. Oh, it is such a great scent. It's a great performer too. It's very strong, does really well, lasts all day and then some. It's in my club. It kind of reminds me of my like roots back in Michigan, where like after a storm or before a storm, you go outside and just smell like that sort of aquatic freshness that's been left behind, but there's still just something that you can't really quite place your finger on that's like in the air, and you're just like, what is that like hint of fragrance or sillage that's left behind? Love this scent. So there you go. That's the 25. I warmed through them. I'm going to divvy them up through some of my friends who are in the cold Michigan weather, like myself. I'm all bundled up with a scarf in the basement like a crazy man. Hopefully this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed my antics, and please let me know what you think about any of these scents. Were any of your impressions similar to mine? Were some of them like far off? Or you like, Johnny, you're crazy, this smells terrible. Or Johnny, this smells like a toad. It doesn't smell like whatever you think it smells like. Let me know. I'm always curious. Our sniffers are all different. And like I said before, and in many times, what you might like, I might hate, and vice versa, and that's totally fine. Let me know if you put any of these in your club if you haven't, or if you don't have a club, consider starting one. If you sign your club up under me, then I can kind of give you some pointers and suggestions and advice and kind of send you a reminder when it's coming up for renewal in case you want to make any last minute edits. Or if you have any questions, you can reach out to my email that is down in the description below. and, you know, say hi or something like that. Thank you all for tuning in. And like I said earlier, the last ones for Bring Back My Bar that are club exclusive, I will be ordering and doing a separate feedback session on those, but I do not have them and have not ordered them just yet. So that will be coming probably by mid-January if we're being realistic, because I need to get them and then actually warm them. You know, it's a process. With that being said, if you're new here, consider subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Take care, guys. Bye.